Michael Jackson is back. Just kidding. Candace is here. We're ready to talk week 5 predictions. Duke has another big one on their hands. Can they take down the Notre Dame? But more important than that, can Syracuse really put it to Clemson so we don't have to talk about the Tigers anymore this season in terms of championships? All on today's show.
You are Locked On ACC, your daily podcast on the Atlantic Coast Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's edition of Locked On ACC. I'm your host, Candace Cooper, joined by Kenton Gibbs of Locked On Wolfpack each and every day. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you download and subscribe to the pod from all of your various platforms. And make sure when you hit that YouTube page, you hit that subscription button because you let us know just how much you love us a little bit further. Kenton, how are we feeling today?
I'm feeling great. It's great for the Jackson 5 to have Mike Jack back. You know what I mean? It was tough for Tito to try to sing A, B, C. It's the easiest 1, 2, 3. It was hard for me to do that by myself. So, having the Michael of the group back is important. It's vital.
Well, all I know is that when I'm with you, you make me feel so good through and through.
Oh, wow. Big heart energy on this show.
That's the nicest they're going to be to each other today and maybe ever. But you guys know how we rock and roll. We always seem to differ. Every time I give my opinion, Kenton comes right in and tells me I don't agree. And so that's just normally the name of this game. But let's talk about week 5. There's a lot of good matchups. If you're ready for some ACC play, here you go. All right. You've been waiting for it. It's been happening. But those of you who haven't been paying attention, this might be the week. You talk about week 4, but this might be the week that some people are on a platform elevating and some are just riding by and coasting. And I really want to talk through some of these games, specifically the one that's happening in just about an hour or so.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, this NC State and Louisville game is going to be a game where this is a measuring stick game if I've ever seen it, in terms of two teams that are perceived as being middle of the road type teams in the ACC. And you're going to ask yourself, or you're going to have the question answered to some degree after this game, who's who? What's what? Because in looking at the Notre Dame loss for NC State, you're like, oh, man, that was a terrible loss and all that. And how good are they really? They've struggled against teams they're supposed to be. But in looking at Louisville, you would say they're 4-0 against the Island of Misfit Toys University Community College. Like, that's what we got going on there. No disrespect to Georgia Tech, of course.
I'm trying to say.
Even Georgia Tech, they had that game won, and then down the stretch, they just pissed down their legs. So you're looking at two teams that people predicted were going to be middle of the pack coming in. Where are they going to be after this?
Yeah, 1,000%. I think for me, we have been so high recently. We called Louisville our dark horse, right? We just didn't know what we were going to get from them. They have been showing up and proving time and time again. Now, as you mentioned, Mr. Plummer is figuring out how to be a good quarterback, but he's complementing what he really has in his offense. And they're being a complete team. Their defense was never something that we really worried about. But, all around, I think it's just they're playing complete ball. Now you're going into a hostile environment. You're going into Raleigh. You know what you're going to get with NC State. They're going to bring it to you. They have a very good offense, but to me, that's the biggest question mark for the pack, right? Are we going to get high-flying offense? Are we going to get basic offense? Are we going to get just enough offense? Like, I don't have any superstars, but do I have enough game managers, or just do your job right in order to maybe get this W?
I don't know. I think Kevin Concepcion is a star on the way. I think that he and Juice Vereen are two of the best freshmen in the nation in terms of a duo of freshman pass catchers. With that being said, Robert and I get him the damn ball, but
Concepcion might be my favorite ACC name this season.
Well, his nickname is KC, so it keeps it real light and simple.
But what is his government name?
It's Kevin Concepcion. It's Kevin Concepcion.
Oh, so they call him KC Concepcion?
Yeah, they call him KC. Yeah, they call him KC.
But his name is Kevin Concepcion.
No. Do you not understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? The boy's name is Kevin Concepcion. They call him KC.
Okay.
Just like Juice Verine's real name is not, in fact, Juice. It's not,
I mean, Storm Duck's name is actually Storm Duck. So you just never know with these guys these days. So you just never know. When it comes to our polls from our fans, because we already have our tally.
Yes.
Louisville, NC State. Who are you picking?
Well, I'm picking Louisville. You know what I mean? The last time there was a home blackout against Louisville for NC State showed up and dominated Lamar Jackson, but Jermaine Pratt, who intercepted that pass and trucked Lamar into the end zone, High Point, North Carolina's finest, my main man Pratt, he ain't walking through that door. BJ Hill ain't walking through that door. Bradley Chubb ain't walking through that door. Unfortunately, I think that Joe R. Jordan is too special. That young man, actually, he's not too special. He's 3 or 4 special, because that young man, if he sees a crease, it's, hey, bye. It's been nice knowing you. So, I think that Louisville's offense is just a little too much for NC State.
I agree. I think that Louisville is going to get the win here. Unfortunately for NC State, I don't think they have all the horses in the stable defensively to keep up with Joe R. Jordan. More importantly than that, I think Louisville just right now is rolling at a very high clip. What did the fans say?
82% of the fans agreed with both of us. Louisville over NC State.
Now, NC State finna upset. That's just going to piss me off. But it's okay. It's okay. I felt like I should do the upset thing, but
Oh, no. An NC State upset would just ruin my day. Chap my hide, if you will.
I couldn't possibly see how that would go down. But yes. All right. Louisville takes game 1 tonight, 7 p.m. on ESPN. Let's talk about the Saturday matchups. Clemson, I don't know why they keep getting these nooners, but I mean, Jesus. I want to see some action at the nighttime. We're going to save that for Notre Dame and Duke. We'll talk about that later. Clemson and Syracuse, 4-0, 2-2. Now, if I told you those records and I told you those teams, then you would never think that Syracuse would be the 4-0 team and that Clemson would be the 2-2 team.
Oh, get funky with it. 4-0, undefeated in conference, 2-2, 0-2 and bottom feeder in the conference.
I'm trying to tell you, fighting for their life.
But with that being said, that's why I think that Clemson wins this game. They are going to reek of desperation. This is a team that is going to be begging, pleading, hoping, wishing, crying, and throwing up to get this win. And I think that they're going to, the Tigers' claws are going to come out, per se. And they're going to get this one done in a close one up in the Carrier Dome.
Now, if this was in Death Valley, I might agree with you, because they need a win. They need it bad. But Syracuse at home, 4-0, without Aronde, I feel like Syracuse is going to nab this upset. I'm going with Syracuse here, because we know if one thing that Dino know how to do is keep that damn job. And he know how to go hard.
He's going to give Clemson a headache.
He knows how to go hard when it comes to them Clemson Tigers.
They could be the worst team. They could be the worst team in the world. But when they come to Clemson, he's going to give them a headache. The fans disagree with you, Candace. They're on my side in this one. 70% going with Clemson.
Orange, don't let me down. I need to get back in the race. So I would appreciate this.
This would be a big win for you.
This would be a huge win for me, right? I've been shaky a little bit, but I'm coming back with it. Let's talk about one more here before we pay some bills. Virginia and Boston College, battle of the bottom. At the end of the day, two teams got to play each other. Now, if Clemson happens to lose and Boston College or Virginia happens to win, Clemson is the lowest team in the standings.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be tough. I never thought we would get here.
Yeah.
Virginia, you play with some heart. Play with some heart. But Boston College, was the game against Florida State a fluke, or are they actually a decent team that can turn this corner? Virginia, you almost beat NC State. Can you get out of your head and get a W?
Yeah, that's absolutely going to be the question. And I'm going to tell you this much. I'm disappointed in Tony Elliott's decision to start Tony Muskett. By the way, Virginia, y'all are over your Tony quota. Get rid of somebody. Tony Bennett, Tony Elliott, Tony Muskett, Tony Calandria. Too many Tonys. Okay?
Too many Tony. Tony. It is not their anniversary.
You can't have Tony. The fourth Tony is too many. You got to get down to 3.
What Tony are you getting rid of?
Well, the Tony that is the reason that I'm picking this game the way I'm going to pick it is the one that I'm going to get rid of. Tony Muskett is supposed to be the starter. That is the reason I'm going with the Boston College Eagles. I'm sorry. I think that Musket is a boring quarterback who isn't even a good manager. I would rather watch paint dry than watch him running offense. Calandra may turn the ball over sometimes, but at least he'll play into the game before he play you out of it. Musket is a guy that, like, if the guys around him play well, he looks better. You at UVA, brother. You got to do the playing well. You got to start a drink. And I don't think that he has his big ladle out. So I'm going BC.
I think BC. I think we also are really high on the Boston College quarterback. I see his face. I see his hair. Tell me his name. There we are. Yeah. It's between Concepcion, Castellanos, and it's just like, I'm having a time here with these seed names. But either way it goes, I'm excited for Castellanos. I think playing at home, playing at 2 p.m. on the CW network, because we on the CW now. Mm-hmm. Make sure y'all check that out. I feel like he's going to have a big game and an important game just to get them back on track. Play for Coach. We know this is critical for Coach. This is a critical game for Hafley. They cannot go 1-4.
I don't think that this is a critical game for either one of these teams. I think both of their coaches are. In the words of Usher Raymond, the ADs are going to be ready to sign them papers.
Virginia, Tony is not getting fired.
Yeah, Tony Elliott's not getting fired, but I mean,
Hafley very much could get fired based off this loss.
Even if he wins it. Does that really, like, as an AD, do you look at a game like this and say, like, oh, yay, we beat the worst team in the conference?
But you got to win. I don't care. You still got to win. You help your argument to stay. How about that?
Sure. I agree to that. But again, if I'm an athletic director, I want a serious program. This win does not do nothing for me because if you look at what the program was.
Boston College is a very unserious program.
If I am Boston College and I'm saying, okay, I'm their AD and Hafley wins this game, does this help him out? I'm going to fire Hafley based on the fact that the program has regressed under you from Adazio. If I'm looking at you, I'm saying you need to win the games that Adazio did not. Would Adazio be the conference bottom feeder? Yes. He would drag out them 230-pound running backs, those 6 offensive line sets, and they would run the ball down that team's throat in a very ugly, nasty, boring game that they win.
That's fair. What did the fans say in this one?
The fans are going with BC. They agree that too much Tony, not enough balance. They agree that Boston College is going to take this one.
Oh, my Lanza. All right, let's talk about some Nutrafol here. You don't have to choose between better hair growth and your health. Nutrafol helps provide a whole body health approach for men that promotes healthier hair. No drugs, no compromises, just better hair. Men think losing their hair is inevitable. Take control of your hair's future with Nutrafol's science-backed hair growth supplement for men. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist tested and recommended for all of our great friends here who are trying to just get back in the groove for some hair growth. Nutrafol supports healthy hair growth from within by targeting root causes of thinning such as stress, hormones, environment, nutrition, lifestyle, and metabolism through whole body health. Take the first step to visibly thicker, healthier hair. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month's subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com/men and enter promo code LOCKEDONCollege. Find out why over 4,000 healthcare professionals recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com/men, spelled Nutrafol. I hope, Kenton, you're writing that down, /men, and enter promo code LOCKEDONCollege. We're rocking and rolling with our friend here, Kenton. You got something to say? You good?
Oh,
I read that exceptionally for you.
There was a joke to be made there about where the hair on our heads come from, but I'm not going to make that joke. I'm not going to make it.
Please don't, because it was going to go over my head. Let's talk about Bowling Green and Georgia Tech. One that's not really splashing off the page in terms of ACC play, but nonetheless, Georgia Tech 2-2 needs a good W. This is one you just have to get, right? It's a good pickup, catch-up game, get people healthy, play some of your younger guys, and get Hanks King going, instill that rhythm as he prepares for more ACC play.
Oh, absolutely. This is a game that, Georgia Tech, don't play with your food or else somebody else is going to eat it. I think that they take care of this game fairly easily. Bowling Green just isn't there as a program. They're not one of those group of 5 teams that I look at to upset a Power 5 team, and Georgia Tech isn't the type of Power 5 team that gets upset by a group of 5 team, not at this stage in their, rebuild or resurgence, shall I say, from, what they were under Collins. So I think that Georgia Tech takes this one easily. And our fans agree with this one having the widest margin of the week. Candace, give me a wild guess on what the percent is for Georgia Tech.
97%.
Correct. Ding, ding, ding.
Ooh.
You cheated. You looked before. I'm just joking. But yeah, you got it right on the nose. You would win the big prize at the fair. But instead, I'm just going to give you 2 golf claps.
I'll take that. Let's talk about this game here before we get into the one that probably is going to take the whole segment. Pitt and Virginia Tech at 8 p.m. in Blacksburg. Normally I would say Pitt, you're coming in, you're going to be the more dominant team. You're going to be the more aggressive defensive team. But Virginia Tech looking for a win, playing at 8 o'clock in Lane Stadium. Good luck to the Pitt Panthers, who are figuring out who they are still as a program. Can't really find a quarterback to have some stability. And they're both 1-3. Never would have thought that.
Yeah, I was on I did a guest appearance the other day where somebody said they were surprised by how bad Virginia Tech was this year, and I'm like, "Ooh."
I need y'all to stop saying that.
I don't.
You weren't paying attention. There's just no way. You watched last year's Pride team and thought somehow he brought in Jones to compete with Grant Wells and thought, "Yep, this is the answer." There's just no way.
And again, even if Ali Jennings stayed healthy the entire season, I think they're about a 4 or 5 win team, which he hasn't so far. He's gotten banged up already, and we hope that he has a speedy recovery because he's one of the most dynamic players in the league. I was going to pick this game based off whether or not he was playing, but honestly, Pitt's offense has not looked bad. It's looked atrocious. It's legitimately looked like, you're scaring the women, as the children today would say.
It's not, and it's not for lack of playmakers. That's my thing. I think that's what's most frustrating. Phil Dracovic is sort of just wetting the bed a little bit.
Yeah, the quarterback play at Pitt has been some of the worst that I've seen in this conference, period. When you look around this conference and you look at what these quarterbacks are doing, to say that Pitt is falling behind is an understatement. They're not falling behind. They're running in the opposite direction from the rest of the group. And so, I've got to say that enter the Sandman, Virginia Tech gets it done in Lane Stadium.
And I think just based on the fact that you look at what Pitt has become since Kenny Pickett left, they keep trying to reinvent the wheel. They're trying to take that NFL approach of just, let's bring in a transfer or let's bring someone else who was good somewhere else. They can just recreate what we had going for us when we were ACC champions. And that's just not been the case. I think that defense holds strong. I definitely think they ruffle Virginia Tech's feathers because Virginia Tech's offense certainly needs a lot of work still. They very much frustrate me because they know how to move the ball. Do they know how to score? Big difference. They know how to move the ball. 88 in that 80-yard set. Wonderful. It's just that rest of the way seems to challenge my boys. So let's just see, maybe. Hype of the crowd, home advantage. I'm going to go with BT as well. What did the fans say?
Well, the fans happen to agree with the fans disagree with us. 90% going Pitt. Okay. 90% going Pitt. They do not believe in Virginia Tech at all. And
they haven't
I get it. No. I get it.
No.
Hey, listen, I get
you
it.
You ain't seen Pitt, though. I mean, it's a battle of the bottom. It's kind of like Virginia Boston College, right?
Watching, if you saw Pitt's offense with, how do you pronounce that young man's name? The backup quarterback?
I feel like it's Vermillion.
Okay. I don't know how to pronounce the young man's name, but you know who you are. I thought Phil was bad. I said, can't get no worse than this.
We see why Pat Narduzzi was trying to stick beside him.
I said, Pat's not sticking beside him because he likes the young man. He's sticking beside him because he's doing the best he can with what he got. Because this is disgusting. This is PU.
Kenton Gibbs. All right, let's talk about one more game here that we all know is going to be the most exciting, most watched, get your popcorn ready, college game day experienced. But first, passion, drive, and patience. What brings home the winning trophy is what also keeps your drive, ride, or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level up to peak performance. From superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, all the things. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll find exactly what you're looking for eBay Guaranteed Fit. Your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back, because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. Go to ebay.com/motors to get your deal today. Kenton and I talking through week 5 predictions. We've given you the rundown, the slate of the games by time order, but the one that we had to just savor and wait for, because it's going to take a little minute. Duke, Notre Dame. For the first time ever, there is college game day in Durham, North Carolina. You had Pat McAfee talking to Riley Leonard today. You had them going over, and you have the man from Hangover going to be the guest picker. Ken, what's his last name?
Is it Ken Jeong?
I think it's that. Yes. He's going to be the guest picker and all the things.
He's hilarious. He's so funny.
I'm honestly just glad for Duke that they didn't make it about basketball. Like, they actually took the time to, highlight. Granted, now if Coach K was still there, I'm sure he would have been the guest picker. Shire actually had media today and received a jersey from Mike Elko. So it's good for Duke to have multiple sports be in the national conversation.
So first thing first, Ken Jeong, anytime he's hosting, he always gives a shout out to his wife by saying, "I love you, ho," because that's her maiden name. She is, you just had
to make sure we knew that one.
It's hilarious. It's a hilarious bit, right? It's anyhow. With that being said, moving on from there to the actual stuff that's happening on the field, I started off saying there's no way that this team is losing to, or this Notre Dame team is losing to Duke. There's no way. And then I kept thinking about it. I said, okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Notre Dame has had to fight for their life in that last game against Ohio State.
They did.
They left everything out on the field except they kept one man on the sideline for those last 2 plays.
How do you do that as your defensive-minded coach and you're the head?
They've done that 3 separate times this season. Every team that they played except NC State. Look at the luck of NC State once again. At some point in time, they have lined up with 10 men on the field defensively.
On purpose, I'm asking. Come on.
No, it's not intentional. No, it's not.
So how do you not go on the field?
They don't have their personnel groupings together. And here's the thing of why I have Duke winning this game. Okay. I repeatedly look at Duke and I say, they've got one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. They haven't thrown the ball at all this year. Riley Leonard has 2 passing touchdowns this season.
He can throw that thing.
Not because they've been trying to throw it unsuccessfully.
Yeah.
They just haven't needed to.
Crazy.
I think that they're going to open it up this game. I know that everybody says that the strength of Notre Dame is their corners and all that. I saw them play against a very suspect passing game led by Brennan Armstrong. And I said, boy, I'll tell you what, if he didn't stare down his number 1 target in a way that, if he was to stare at his coworkers like that in any other place, he'd get a sexual harassment suit. The reality is, I'm not sure if they would have did a great job of stopping them. And then even beyond that, to let Kyle McCord, this young, very young Kyle McCord, drive down the field and take care of you, put you to sleep in your own backyard. Listen, I don't know if Notre Dame has it in them to play up for 2 games back to back. And I think that this is Duke's Super Bowl. Give me the Blue Devils. If you're from the Bull City, it's going to be a parade inside your city after this one.
And you're going to be there to give instant reaction and do all the things. We can't wait for that because your shorts definitely get the people going. But Kenton, let me just say, it's not the Super Bowl for Duke. Clemson, to me, you opened the season and you took down Goliath. And now what is this? Like, we're on to bigger and better. This is just another game. This is just another thing on our list to check off and keep it pushing. So
Notre Dame plays 5 ACC games a year, right? That's part of their stick. That's part of their thing. Even though they're not part of the conference fully.
They're a half-ass ACC. Yes.
Exactly. They play 5 conference games a year. They haven't lost one of those games since 2019.
You ain't lying.
They have been running through the ACC like a Tomb Raider. Laura Croft, double Kimbo guns. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
this is Duke's Super Bowl, and if it's not, they will lose this game. They will lose this game.
They need to treat it like it's their Super Bowl?
Absolutely.
But why? I feel like you just have to have the same mentality as every single game that you've put before you, because that's what's got them through. They knew they could beat Clemson. They knew that they could be 4-0 so far. They knew that they were going to demolish Northwestern and take on UConn, and it was not going to be a thing. I don't think you treat this game like a Super Bowl. I think you treat this game as if it's another one on your list, because if you do try to oversell it, I mean, you already got College Game Day. You already got all the pomp and circumstance. If you do lose focus and lose sight of your goals, then you start taking away. You make Notre Dame bigger than their bridges need to be.
Well, no, I don't think that they should prepare any differently. I don't think they should act any differently, go into this game any differently. By saying this is their Super Bowl, I mean this is the biggest, most marquee game that they'll probably play this year. Like
was Clemson? That wasn't Clemson opener. Like they literally have they demolished Clemson's dreams in many capacities of ACC championship, of national championship, college football playoff conversation. Like they demolished that.
They did not. They did not demolish any of those things. Clemson still had a path. Clemson still had a path after that. What? So wait, if Clemson runs the table, they dominate Florida State in South Carolina. They dominate South Carolina as well. You're telling me that nobody, first of all, ACC championship, they be walking into it with one loss. National championship conversation, if they win the conference championship after losing one game, first game of the season with a new OC, QB1, first full offseason as quarterback, they still had all their goals in front of them. They still had everything there.
But here's my point, though. Like, none of that has happened and since transpired. They're almost worse for wear because of that loss. They just, like, it tumbled for them. So to me, Duke winning made all of that crumble, and Duke never thought that to be their Super Bowl. They just said, all right, we know we could have been here. In the same token, they've been ready and waiting for the opportunity to play a Notre Dame type team, so they could say, we've been here. This is the type of team we know we could be. We just needed the right coach to do it. And Dwayne Carter and the boys about to have their way with Sam Hartman. This is not an unfamiliar quarterback.
Yeah, and it wasn't an unfamiliar quarterback to NC State either. And lo and behold, we had a pretty
Please stop comparing NC State and Duke's defense, because it's not the same.
I'm not comparing their defenses. I'm just comparing the context.
It felt a little comparing.
I'm comparing the context of the game that we're looking at here.
Nah, they just got their ass whooped. I need you to let that go.
If Duke walks into this game and is just like, hey, guys, this is just another game. We need to just play our game and yada, yada, yada. Y'all got to understand, this Notre Dame team is going to come in all pissed off and full of vim and vigor and, we lost to Ohio State and da-da-da-da-da. We still got a path to the playoff. Duke needs to match their energy and desperation to start it, and then things will level off and they'll be in a good position. And again, I think that they know that, and I think that they're going to start this game off the way that they need to in order to ensure that Riley Leonard is getting into a groove, that defense is getting into a groove, and they're making it real tough on Sam Hartman and company to the point where potentially you've got to say, hey, we can't lean on Estime and company in that backfield. We've got to throw this ball. And Duke has the guys to take care of Notre Dame's tight ends as well. And that's the biggest deal there, where I'm like, all right, now you're cooking with grease. Let
me ask you this. This will be it.
Okay.
Notre Dame is actually a good team, and you don't think they're just overhyped because of who they are and what the kind of attention that they bring from a media standpoint, always getting the college football playoffs, squeaking their way in and all that kind of stuff. You actually think they're a legit team?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? See, this is why I love Carla. This is why I love Carla, because she is always on the money. I'll tell you what, you remember when the Beyonce always on beat trend was happening? We need to get one of those for Carla, because she is always on beat here. And she said, we want to see if the Ohio State loss will beat Notre Dame twice. That's what I'm saying. That I think that Notre Dame is going to come in off that, oh, God, we're so angry, we're so upset, we're so uptight, got to do it right. And Duke's going to be like, hey, this is the biggest game of the year for us. We're going to have fun. We're going to play loose. College game day's never been here. We've never felt this type of expectation from us, but this is what we play the game for. This is why we're here, and they get it done. Well,
you would hope you do something as fundamental as putting all 11 people on that field, so I can't help you with that, child.
Listen, your guess is good as mine. You know, Marcus Freeman has let the whole team down if you were rooting for him in that game, because somebody on this show, not going to say who, said that Notre Dame would be closer to a playoff appearance than Georgia this year. And
you said that?
Yeah, I might have said that on the live show on College Football Live.
I know Marcus is fine, but I don't mean he can coach. Anyway, what did the fans say?
That is a good-looking man. I gotta, what
Great,
a man, what a
great.
man, what a man. What
Hot
a mighty
man.
good man.
Hot
Anywho, with that being said, the fans have Notre Dame 60% to 40%.
Ooh-wee.
Candace, who do you have winning this game? We haven't heard your prediction.
You already know how I'm coming about Duke.
Oh, okay.
Football.
All right.
You already know how I'm coming about Duke football because this is on my road tonight to 10 wins and my $300 that I'm getting from Kenton. So you already know how I'm coming. I can't wait for this upset.
Let the bill collectors tell you, I don't pay my debts, cuz. You got to come get it in blood.
Because I got my I got my 150 last year, so I look forward to it this year.
You got to come get that bread in blood,
double or
sister.
Nothing. You said double or nothing, so don't renege now just because you're in front of these people.
That's
crazy.
What did Pooh Shiesty say? Come get it back in
and
what?
He in jail.
Come get it back in
and
what?
He in jail.
All right.
Say all that to say, we hope you guys come back on Monday to see how we all did in terms of our predictions. But as it stands, it feels like Kenton and the fans are once again on some sort of semblance of a page. But overall, I have a couple upsets in here that might get me back into the good graces and ultimately winning our fan and Candace and Kenton challenge. So there's that. We also have live reactions because Kenton will be at Duke during the Notre Dame Duke game. So make sure you check out our page for instant reactions and all of those things. You can talk to us on our community page where we'll have week 6 posted and all that fun jazz. But for now, we're going to go enjoy our weekend. We hope you do the same. NC State plays in about 40 minutes. Kenton, you nervous?
What do I got to be nervous about? Win,
I'm
lose, draw.
just asking.
Either I'm right and they lose, or I have a great post-game live show with Grayson where we can say, oh, they did it. They did it. They pulled off the upset. They beat they beat Louisville in a game where very few people gave them a chance. I'm all right. You know what I mean? It's a win-win either way.
Things that we love to hear and see. For Candace Cooper and Kenzie Gibbs, I hope you guys have a great, great weekend. Be safe out there. Until next time.